Hi, this week I want to expand on Chapter 4 and the part where it describes the evolution of emotion. And I want to talk specifically about the role of the amygdala and emotion. So in the evolution of emotion plays a role in survival. That's the evolutionary role. And it's responsible for the fight, flight, freeze responses, which most people have heard of. Our emotion triggers an immediate response to a threat, and it's literally without thinking, because if we had to think about it, we wouldn't have enough time to survive. The problem is, after thousands of years, we're in modern society, and there's less of a need for this evolutionary response, so it becomes a problem in social interactions. Now, the amygdala is the part of the brain. It's a small part. It's about the size of and shape of a peanut, and it's the emotional center in the brain, and it's direct wired in the brain, and it serves as a supporting theory, actually, for, you've probably heard of when you get angry, someone's probably along the line has told you, well, count from 1 to 10 when you're angry. Well, there's actually a basis for that, and this emotional response is automatic, and that's the survival part of it. So say, for example, if I'm walking down the street and I decide I want to cross the street, and I'm not paying attention, I step off the curb, and suddenly a really big bus is coming fast, and I jump back real quick, and my heart is beating fast, and I'm going, wow, that I should have been paying attention. I didn't have to think about that. In other words, the amygdala generated this immediate response, because obviously a large bus coming fast would be a threat. Now think, if we didn't have this evolutionary response, and I stepped off the curb, and I look and I see there's a really large bus coming at me really fast, and then I'd have to think, what should I do? And so obviously some of us, we wouldn't be here if we didn't have this response. So it does play a role that is healthy in survival. Now, rational thinking, in social situations, a person can get their emotional buttons pushed, so to speak, and then they verbally respond immediately, literally without thinking, and typically it results in regret and then escalation of the conflict. So our rational brains, they're 6 seconds behind the emotional brain. And so the key here is, if we could wait 6 seconds before responding, whatever we said is apt to be smarter than what we would have said speaking right out of emotional brain. So Friedman called this triggering of the amygdala, he called it hijacking the amygdala. And some people do this well with others, in the work environment. I can remember back in my production days that sometimes when people would get bored, they would trigger the amygdalas of another person just for entertainment, and then everybody would watch that. Children are masters at hijacking their parents' amygdalas and then watching their parents sort of act out. So there's this 6-second technique, and what the technique is, it's a question that you ask yourself silently up here when someone hijacks your amygdala. And the whole idea is, when you ask yourself this question, you want it to take 6 seconds to answer, and then you engage the person and respond. Because if you do that, then you're going to engage your rational thinking and you're not responding out of emotion. So the purpose for this technique is just to pass 6 seconds time. It doesn't even matter if you answered your own question or answer it correctly. All that matters is that you can pass 6 seconds of time before you engage. Now, for example, I had a friend that he was a big hockey fan, so when someone would push his emotional buttons, he would ask himself silently, no one knew what he was doing, he would ask himself, what are the 6 cities who hosted the original NHL hockey teams? And then he would work his way down his list, like New York, Chicago, Detroit, Boston, Toronto, Montreal. By that time he got through that, his 6 seconds had passed, then he would look at the person and he would engage him. And so doing this elevates the quality of the response, so it can serve to both prevent conflict and prevent escalation of conflict. And so it's called a 6-second technique, and it's something that you can try, and if you practice it, you can integrate this into your behavior, and you'll find that it's effective. And these are the sources, and they're in a transcript that I'll upload. Thank you.